Imagine waking up tomorrow with twice your current salary. Would your life finally change? Most people instinctively answer, yes. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Millions of people have already doubled their income. And they're still living in abject poverty. Some drive expensive cars they can barely afford. Others secretly worry about paying their next bill. From the outside, everything looks successful. Behind closed doors, many are drowning in debt. So what separates the small percentage of people who build lasting wealth from everyone else? It isn't intelligence. It isn't luck. And it certainly isn't working the longest hours. The answer lies somewhere much deeper, hidden inside everyday decisions so small that most people never notice them. By the end of this video, you'll understand why wealth isn't built in one big moment, but through thousands of tiny decisions. Because the biggest obstacle between most people and financial freedom isn't the economy. It's the way they're taught to think. Every child enters the world filled with curiosity. They ask questions. They imagine possibilities. But as they grow older, most are taught the exact same formula for success. Study hard. Get good grades. Find a stable job. Work for decades. Retire. Years ago, that advice made perfect sense. Factories needed workers. Companies rewarded loyalty. But quietly, the world changed. Technology transformed entire industries. Artificial intelligence now performs many tasks once done by people. Entire careers are evolving faster than ever before. Yet millions still follow an outdated financial roadmap, wondering why it no longer leads to prosperity. Here's where almost everyone makes a costly mistake. They confuse income with wealth. Income is simply the money you earn. Wealth is the money you keep, grow, and invest. Picture two friends graduating from university on the same day. Both begin with similar salaries. The first buys the newest phone every year, then leases an expensive car, moves into an apartment that's far beyond what they truly need. Shopping becomes a reward. Credit cards quietly cover the difference. The second friend lives differently. They save first, spend later. Every month, they invest consistently, even when the amount feels small. 10 years later, their lives couldn't look more different. Not because one was smarter, but because one understood something the other never did. Every dollar has a job. It can either build your future or finance someone else's. But knowing what to do isn't enough. Because money is deeply psychological. For thousands of years, our brains evolved to seek immediate rewards. Today, those rewards arrive through online shopping, flash sales, and endless advertisements. Every notification whispers the same message. You deserve this. And every purchase triggers a burst of dopamine, making spending feel incredibly satisfying. But that excitement doesn't last. Soon, something newer appears. A better phone. A better car. A bigger house. The cycle repeats. Psychologists call this the hedonic treadmill. The more you chase satisfaction, the further away it seems. The wealthy often ask a different question. Not, what can I buy today? But, what can this money become tomorrow? That single question changes everything. And it leads to one of the most powerful wealth-building principles ever discovered: delayed gratification. We'll explore that next. Years ago, researchers conducted a famous experiment with young children. Each child faced a simple choice: eat one treat immediately, or wait a few minutes and receive two instead. Some children couldn't resist. Others waited patiently. The experiment wasn't really about candy. It revealed something much deeper about human behavior. The ability to delay gratification influences countless decisions throughout life. Saving instead of spending, learning instead of endlessly scrolling, investing instead of consuming, building your future instead of showing off your present. Every single day, your future competes against your present. The most successful people understand that today's sacrifice often purchases tomorrow's freedom. Freedom to spend more time with family. Freedom to travel. Freedom to choose. Ironically, many people spend money trying to look rich, while truly wealthy people often spend years looking ordinary. And that's exactly where the next invisible trap begins. Comparison. Every day, we're surrounded by carefully edited snapshots of other people's lives. Luxury vacations, expensive cars, designer brands, million-dollar homes, perfect moments, shared with the world. Imagine scrolling through social media during your lunch break. Within minutes, your entire perspective changes. One friend buys a brand new SUV. Another posts photos from an overseas vacation. Someone else celebrates moving into a beautiful new home. Suddenly, the life you appreciated yesterday no longer feels enough. Nothing about your financial situation changed. Only your comparison did. This desire to keep up has pushed millions into unnecessary debt. Not because they truly needed those things, but because they wanted the status they seemed to represent. Here's the irony. Many people appearing wealthy are financing that lifestyle with debt. Real wealth is often invisible. It doesn't need constant attention. Many millionaires still drive reliable cars. They value financial freedom more than financial attention. Before buying something expensive, ask yourself one question. Am I buying this because it improves my life? Or because I hope it improves someone else's opinion of me? That single question can save years of financial regret. Now imagine receiving a major promotion. Your income increases dramatically. You celebrate. Your hard work has finally paid off. Soon, you move into a more expensive apartment. Then comes the newer car. More expensive restaurants. More subscriptions. More monthly payments. Before long, your bigger paycheck has disappeared. You're earning more than ever, yet saving no more than before. This is called lifestyle inflation, and it quietly traps millions of high-income earners. Yesterday's luxury quickly becomes today's necessity. The expensive coffee, the premium memberships, the upgraded lifestyle. Soon, they all feel normal. The wealthy usually respond differently. When income increases, their investments increase first. Instead of upgrading every part of their lifestyle, they upgrade their future. But there's another psychological trap that's even more powerful. One that causes people to hold on to bad decisions long after they know they should let go. And understanding it could save you thousands of dollars over your lifetime. Imagine standing in front of two doors. Behind one is a guaranteed gain. Behind the other, a risky opportunity with a bigger reward. Which one would you choose? Most people instinctively choose certainty. Not because it's the best option, but because it feels safer. Now imagine the opposite. One door guarantees a loss. The other gives you a chance to avoid losing anything. Suddenly, many people become willing to gamble. Psychologists call this loss aversion. The pain of losing is often stronger than the joy of gaining. That's why people hold on to bad investments, hoping they'll recover. It's why people stay in jobs they hate, simply because change feels uncomfortable. Ironically, avoiding a small loss today often creates a much bigger loss tomorrow. Successful people understand something different. Doing nothing is also a decision. Sometimes, the greatest financial risk is refusing to change. Imagine spending $1,000 on a brand new phone. It feels like a simple purchase. But what if that same money had been invested instead? Over time, It could have multiplied many times over. Now repeat that decision. Again. And again. For years. Every unnecessary purchase carries two costs. The money you spend today, and the future wealth you quietly gave up. The wealthy rarely ask, "Can I afford this?" Instead, they ask, "What am I sacrificing by buying it?" Because every financial decision echoes into the future. Some choices create freedom. Others create regret. Here's the biggest secret of all. Wealth is rarely built through one extraordinary decision. It's built through ordinary decisions, repeated consistently. One chapter read instead of another hour scrolling. One investment made every month. One unnecessary purchase avoided. One valuable skill learned. Imagine two airplanes leaving the same airport. One changes direction by only a few degrees. At first, the difference is invisible. Hours later, they arrive in completely different countries. That's exactly how habits work. Tiny improvements don't look impressive today, but given enough time, they become life-changing. Your environment shapes your financial future more than your motivation does. If everyone around you spends impulsively, eventually, you'll feel pressure to do the same. But when you surround yourself with people who value learning, saving, investing, and discipline, those habits begin to feel normal. Success leaves clues. So does failure. Choose carefully which one you're learning from. The wealthiest people don't spend their lives chasing money. They spend their lives increasing their value. Every new skill, every book, every lesson expands your ability to create opportunities. Money follows value. The more problems you can solve, the more valuable you become. So, why will most people never become rich? Not because they're incapable. Not because they're unlucky. And certainly not because success belongs to a chosen few. Most people stay trapped because they never change the invisible habits controlling their everyday decisions. They trade tomorrow's freedom for today's comfort. They confuse looking wealthy with becoming wealthy. They spend years chasing income instead of building assets. But the moment you change your habits, you begin changing your future. 1 year from now, you'll either wish you had started today, or you'll be grateful that you did. The choice is being made right now.